think it wasn't the best performance, but I know that if me and Loma was a fight, a better version would be on that night. But congratulations, and hopefully we can get it on.
You have said
Is lightweight? Is this lightweight?
He's a big lightweight. Huh?
No, it's heavyweight.
Now,
in the ring, I'll show you.
Okay. I will be ready.
you've said that you are willing to make any concession that Devin Haney wants to make this fight. How bad do you want this?
Ты сказал, что ты сделаешь все, чтобы сделать этот бой. Как сильно ты хочешь этого боя?
Look, I'm ready. I told before, I'm ready, and I'm ready for any option.
Anytime, any place. I heard those words when you were going to fight for the Undisputed title. How do you feel about Lomachenko saying, whatever you want, let's just get it done?
That's what I like to hear. I took the risk. I went over to Australia twice. Everything that George Kambosos mandated to me, I signed up for. So we'll see when we go to negotiating.
When you look at Devin Haney and the way he fought against George Kambosos in his two fights, what did you see?
Look, he is an undisputed world champion. You can talking about world champion. He is a top fighter. That's why he is a world champion.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Stay Locked In podcast. If you somehow stumbled upon this video, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button down below for more content. I got a crazy goal of about 10,000 subscribers. If you can help me manifest my goal into reality, I would really appreciate it. With that being said, let's go ahead. Let's get right into this video. Let's go ahead and lock the in. All right. So boom. All right, let's get right into this video. Vasily Lomachenko versus Jamaine Ortiz. Young lion, undefeated boxer. Shout out to Vasily Lomachenko, man. First and foremost, I do want to say and acknowledge the people over there in the Ukraine going through what they're going through, and prayers up to all of the people over there and their entire country. But getting into the fight, it was a action-packed, fast-paced, steady-paced fight throughout the entire fight. I was thoroughly entertained. Jamaine Ortiz, they came out firing a bunch of flurries and combinations. Vasily seemed like he came out a little bit more on the defensive side. Maybe he was just trying to figure him out a little bit, but he was still letting his hands go, just more defensive than Lomachenko normally comes out, because he's a guy that throws a lot of flurries out there, similar to a Manny Pacquiao. He normally lets his hands go, and I think the fact that Jamaine Ortiz was the bigger fighter, and his footwork was on point, and he was throwing the combinations right back. I don't think Ortiz was hesitant or scared or trying to fill him out in the slightest. He was out there competing. Now Loma started to open up a little bit in the third round. He clipped him, and he wobbled him a little bit in the third round, and he started opening up from there. Loma started letting his hands go, doing the things that Loma does, turning, hitting him on angles and stuff like that. His footwork is impeccable. I think that's what makes Loma such a great, dangerous fighter. But I believe it was in the 6th round that Ortiz switched up to southpaw. Vasily Lomachenko seems to struggle with southpaws, and it showed. Once he switched up to that southpaw, he was getting hit with all type of shots. He was almost nullified. You know what I mean? He was almost like he didn't have an answer for the southpaw. And Jamaine Ortiz started to show him taking control of the fight. And it took Loma about a couple of rounds to kind of figure it out. Maybe 2 to 3 rounds. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ortiz switched back up to regular orthodox stance. And from that point on, I believe it was around the 9th round, 9th or 10th round, and Loma came out, and He pretty much dominated the rest of the fight. I don't want to say dominated. It's a little too strong of a word. It was an extremely close fight. Shout out to Jamaine Ortiz. But you know, Loma's, you know, he started to take the fight over. It was visible that, you know, he was winning the fight towards the later rounds. Ortiz had a couple of good rounds in there. Like I said, he switched up from 6th to the 9th and then switched back for whatever reason, because he was seeming to have some type of success with the southpaw stance, as most fighters do against Loma. But, you know, maybe he, you know, figured it out, you know, within those couple of rounds. But overall, it was a great fight, man. Like I said, it was action-packed. Kept a steady pace. There wasn't really a time in the fight where the fighters were, you know, being stagnant, or, you know what I mean. It was just a great fight overall. I think Loma did wobble him a little bit again. I believe in the 11th, 12th round, I believe. Hit him with a couple good shots, and Loma was getting picked off with some good shots too. Ortiz did a great job, man. Great young fighter, man. Shout out to him. And then, you know, just talking about the post fight, we had, first of all, yo, kudos to Devin Haney, man. This man is the undisputed world champion. Undisputed. And is showing up to fights, trying to make the fights happen. He's not letting nobody chase him. He's chasing fighters as the undisputed champion. I think the division needs way more fighters like Devin Haney, and give the fans the fights that they want to see. Getting there with the best of the best and the top fighters in the division. No ducking, none of that. This is what the fans want to see. So shout out to Devin Haney for that. This man showed up to his fight, trying to make the fight with Loma happen. I believe he's been calling Loma out for years. For years. It should be the other way around. It should be the other way around. These fighters need to be chasing this undisputed champion. All of these belts that Devin Haney is now holding. So shout out to him, man. Hopefully they make this fight happen. It's funny, you know, in the post-fight, you know, interview, you can see that Devin Haney is obviously the bigger fighter. I think that would be an interesting fight just with his skills. I think Devin Haney is extremely skilled fighter. And, you know, during that interview, Loma says to him, "Is this lightweight? Is this lightweight? No, this heavyweight." Calling Devin Haney a heavyweight. That's very telling right there. I think he's been ducking Devin Haney a little bit, for sure. But you know, he's in a weird position, man. He's in a corner. He's kind of backed into a corner, and he has to fight one of these guys, man. One of the top guys, and I think Devin Haney is next. I think even Devin Haney was calling him Lomachenko for years, saying that this guy won't fight him. But now the fight almost has to happen. But you guys get down in the comments section. Let me know what you thought about the fight between Lomachenko and Ortiz. And who do you think Loma or Devin Haney should fight next? Or who do you got winning that, Devin Haney or Loma? You guys let me know. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. I really do. And with that being said, I hope everybody out there stays focused, stays prosperous, and stays locked in.